So yesterday I rode 400k, which is quite a big ride. I'll be honest, it's not rare for me to do something like that, but I was quite nervous about this one. A few reasons behind it. Firstly, I'm riding a different bike. So obviously I've been riding Lynskis for years before. I've now come across to Ritchey, and I was quite nervous about taking a new bike out on quite a big stint. Secondly, even stuff like the gearing's different. So I've gone from a 2x to a 1x. So I'll be honest, my head was filled with, oh my God, I haven't done this, and I was a bit all over the place to start with. But let's talk about where I first went wrong. So good morning guys. So I think the first stage of getting ready to do big miles is to get a taster for it. So today I'm going to be riding quite a big day. My dog's screaming out the window to say bye. So this was my first issue, and although I don't mention the time, I actually left way too late. So the previous night I'd had a really disrupted night's sleep, so I thought, well actually I'll lie in and I'll go further into the night instead. I shouldn't have done this. If I'm brutally honest, I feel as though I actually should have just started at the allotted time at 4 AM like I normally would do. But instead, I left about 8 AM so I could bank a few more hours sleep. I actually kind of regret that because I find with sleep it normally catches me up the day after, and because I was only planning on riding for the day, if I'm brutally honest, I should have just gone on a bit late. So what I'm going to be doing today in blocks of 100 miles. So I'm actually about halfway through my first block. I'm not really focusing on too much bar my heart rate. It's a bit lower than I thought. I want it to stay under 130. But we'll just kind of see where that ends up. Yeah, I feel good. Like, I haven't really done silly miles in a while, so it's a lot to take in. The next thing is my routing. I should have probably planned preset routes, but I was so all over the place thinking, well, the wind's going this way, this is doing this is doing that, that I kind of just thought, let's just go out and see how the land lays and stop overthinking this. When actually, I probably should have taken that stress out of it and pre-planned all my routes before. Today all has to be about efficiency though. It's got to be about staying on the bike, it's got to be about getting food quickly and then getting back out on the bike. The weather is awesome, the wind is strong, making it difficult to pick the right route. I think the first loop I will be able to find improvements. I'm still having fun. That's the first stint done. Feeling good? Hungry. But my legs feel fine. My heart rate came up a bit towards the end. I was on busy roads and I was just getting a bit stressed out. I look forward to it getting cooler, darker, and a bit less windy. Really tough slug, hour 4 to 5. Got my water bottles on the go there, and some banana milkshake, and I'm just gonna make a couple of pitters. Some more snacks too out of the cupboard, so. In that space of time, I had lunch, I restocked all my food, I put new sun cream on, and literally out on the road again, 13 minutes. Now you see I've left my house in 13 minutes. That's really good. That's really quick to have lunch, do your sun cream, restock all your bike. But, did you notice? Forgot my sunglasses. Yep, so I was getting bugs in my eyes all the time, wasn't paying enough attention. I was all when I should, just gone in, had everything laid out the day before, ready for me just to get my lunch, grab the new stuff, and then just go. I could have cut that time down, and I shouldn't have forgot my sunglasses. Didn't eat enough lunch, should have eaten way more. I'm flagging now, even though I've got snacks, they're just not going down well. There's no substitute for proper meals, there really isn't. 2 hours and I'm home again before the last stint where I'll go into the night, which would be lovely because it's hot and I just not enjoying other cars on the road. Yeah, I didn't eat enough for lunch. I'll be honest, I ran in, I had some chocolate milkshake, had a couple of pitters, then by the time I got back out and started to feel, oh, I'm a little bit flaggy now, I'd realised that my lunch was probably only the whole of about 600 calories, which in ultra cycling, I reckon that should have been 1,000, 1.5, and then I probably would have got on a little bit better. That would have fueled me for that extra hour or two I needed.
A little bit shorter than the last one. I'm feeling, I haven't done big miles like this in ages. I've forgotten how much it hurts. So maybe I'm just not as conditioned to it as I used to be. But even so, you just got to get on with it, that's the thing. So here I am on the coast. It was really tough to get out of the house the last time because Bryony was there, Ivy, my puppy, was running around, and I was just like, oh, I've got to go out and ride. I wish I'd started earlier in the day like I would do on an attempt, but yeah, it was just really difficult. I stayed a little bit longer at home, about half an hour. I'm not too tired now, it's nice and cool this evening. I feel like I got a bit of sunstroke today and maybe a bit of dehydration. I had the shits at home.
So you can see here, I've literally just said, oh, my puppy was home, Bryony was home, all this, literally, I'd got in and I was like, oh, hi Bryony, how's your day? Did it? Not focusing on task at hand, unfortunately. I was a little bit short on the mileage as well, so I'd kind of come back on the back foot, which was a bit annoying, but I literally thought, hey, let's just carry on, let's go into the night. But I have made quite a more silly error just before this. And yes, you heard me say it. If you don't know what that means, it means, how can I put this? It means I needed to go for a number 2 frequently and regularly. And I can put this down to one of 3 reasons. 1, I didn't eat enough in my normal meals, that I was snacking on crap too much and that upset my stomach. 2, I had a lot of electrolytes. I was having 1 tablet per bottle. Might have been a bit excessive, but then again, it was a very hot day. I knew I was losing a lot of salts. I could see it in my lycra. 3, Bryony, my partner, unfortunately, a few days ago wasn't feeling that well with her stomach. Maybe I picked up a bug and it just rolled off onto the back of the cycle ride. Don't know, not ideal. So I can't really class this as a mistake. Let's just class this as see what happens next time. So at this point, I'd gone out, got my jacket on, got my high vis, my knee warmers. I'd actually put some longer socks on as well. And I was cold. It was like 9 degrees and I was freezing. But it was when you go up a hill, then you come down, you rest for a little bit, you go into the bottom, so between the hills, and it's cold and misty here. My hands were getting really cold, so should have taken gloves. Next error.
Just having a bit of a chill out after my ride. I feel okay. Made some silly mistakes today. I've written them down. I'm going to talk about them in the morning when I'm a bit more awake.
So this really got me thinking about the week record and some really big changes that I'm going to need to make this work, to make sure I get it. 500k, 300 miles a day is not an easy task. The first thing I need to do is I need to rent a house. I can't come home to my dog, to Bryony, to my bed, to my shower, and have the motivation always to want to go back out again. So I need to separate myself from that. The second thing is I need someone to manage this. I can't. I'm going to be too tired. I'm going to just keep making stupid mistakes. I've asked dropped hint to Neil from Turn Cycling, my coach, that if he'd be there to do that for me. And fingers crossed, he will. And those 2 things I think will be the difference between me getting this record and not getting this record. I need structure, I need control, I need someone as expert as Neil to guide me through this, because I can't do this alone. I need someone at base just making sure I'm going to go out with enough food, that I've had enough sleep. I need to make sure there's someone there for me. All in all, I really enjoyed the ride. I feel fine today. I'd happily go back out on the bike, but I know rest is important, so I'm going to be resting today and tomorrow. The Ritchie was great. Actually, on the old bike, I used to suffer quite a bit after about 10, 12 hours. My lower back feels a bit dodgy, but I didn't get that all day. And even through when I'd passed 15 hours, I was like, wow, okay, I still feel really good. I loved the one by. was perfect. It was simple, it worked, and I was just so happy with the bike. It's been a good experiment and it's set me up for some cool stuff. So very happy. Anyway guys, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, keep following, you know, the progress of seeing if we can get this record. Boom, happy days.